Welcome to How to Make a Milli. Welcome to How to Make a Milli. So I'm going to make a milli today. We're going to make a black and green L shape, and then we're going to make that a cylinder and pull it down. I'm going to begin this process by making an L shape, and I'm going to make that L shape out of 2 rectangular prisms. You can see the general shape here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to gather up some black glass. I like to create like a cone shape and then gather up on that cone shape. I got to make a big section on there, so I made kind of a cone shape there, and then I'm going to build off of that cone shape, and that way the rod behind it isn't going to break down from the heat of this large glob. I start moving down the rod as it gathers. Sometimes it will thicken past where I want it to thicken, so it'll get thicker than I want it to. In that case, I'll just get it all hot and roll it on my L marker. I don't want to go too big with this milli, so I'm going to break it down now. Detach. I'm going to gather this, make sure it's a nice cylinder before I work it. There's still some rippling or ribs in it, still ribbed for her pleasure. It's still my section is still not perfectly cylinder and is ribbed, so I have to round it up, make it a nice cylinder. Got myself a nice cylinder. I want this section to be a rectangular prism, so I want to get it as close to that shape as possible, even as a cylinder. So I want to break down this tip and not make it as pointy. I'm going to bring that down. Now that I have that section going, I'm going to squish them, and the goal of this is to get a nice even heat base throughout the color. I used my major flame to speed up the process a bit. So in order to get it to be nice and even and make sure that each side, the left and the right, is all hot, I'm going to use my smaller flame there. And now that I got something going, I'm going to give them a little squish. Now you can squish glass, flattening it using your Elmarver, your pad on your table, and your paddle, or you can get a little tool to squish it. No matter how you squish it, you're going to give it a little squish. Basically just putting it between a rock and a hard place. And we'll squish them down. Squish this guy up, make it a square. As you can see, I've got a lump of glass here, and I'm squishing it into a little square. Now that little square, I'm going to squish it to this square. Now as you can see here, I got these 2 pieces of glass. Now, I'm going to stick these together. I'm going to get these hot. You're going to get it hot right where you want to stick them together. Just like this, I'm going to squish, and boom, look at that. I got the sections of glass together. I can just pull this away, and now let's just get all that hot. Now, we're going to heat all this up. Now, what I've got here is I got the glass attached. Does that look like a perfect L? No, it doesn't. We've all rolled an L. You know that that doesn't look like an L. So let's make an L. I'm going to take this up, I'm going to squish or squishy. I'm going to squishy, squish, squish over here. Give it a little finagle over here. Over here, go over here. Look at me shaping this. Look at me, I'm Michelangelo over here. I got my basic black L shape. My goal is to make an L shape with a green border. So I want a black L with a green border. So I got my black L so far. I'm going to switch my punty over, and I'm going to start giving it a green border. Now that I have my L shape, I'm going to add a little green to it and create my border. And to do that, I just have to do a thin layer of green all the way around the L. My L is covered. So I made my L, my black L, Covered it up with some green, baby. Now that I have my L and it's covered with my green, I'm now going to have to melt down the green and flatten it so that it's still a nice L shape. I'm going to use a couple different tools, such as a butter knife and my paddle, because I have to make such a specific edge here, and my paddle is a little bit grinded down and sanded over time, so all that smoke or whatever you're seeing, that's wax being burnt off of my knife on all sides. And the back side I haven't done yet, so I'm going to go flatten that out. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in everything with clear all the way around the L cylinder. So I pulled the tip of my clear here to fill in the 90-degree angle, because it'll be a little easier to get into that 90-degree angle and not leave any air bubbles if it's smaller. Attach, squishing in, fall into it. Fill in that little area in there. And now I'm just going to keep filling in clear until it's all filled up. That's a dietary decision. What is that dietary decision? You don't eat fish. No, you don't eat meat other than fish. No, I know that. But you're lucky I didn't say pescatarian. Which is, I'm pretty sure. No, it's a legal religion where they believe in the spaghetti. Alright, so I just filled in a bunch of clear. And now I'm going to try to make it a cylinder. I'm going to fill in a bunch of clear here on the end to make it a nice round section or coned off section. Alright, so now I've got a bunch of clear on the end here, and I'm going to melt that down so it's a little more even because it's just bunched up. And again, making a bit of a cone. Now I connect up a punty. Now I'm going to detach my other punty. I just have to connect up, heat up the centerpiece, that's the color, and pull the color. First, I'm going to start with getting it nice and hot. Just with my big flame, I'm going to get it nice and hot, but then I'm going to use my small flame and try to focus the heat in the center. Me for dragon, you know, I can knife. Dragon fix me. We use a little major flame now. Try to just soak this thing with some heat.
hope that worked. I really, really, really hope that worked. I really, really hope that worked.